Welcome back. Here's an exclusive conversation. The market is positive about Zomato's future and the opportunities that lie ahead. The company's CFO, Akshant Goyal, says that while the business has shown remarkable growth, it will take a while for Blinkit to generate meaningful profits. Here's a slice of an exclusive conversation that Motilal Oswal's Raamdeo Agrawal had with him right here on CNBC-TV18 just a week ago. Take a look.
I think Zomato is, just about 2-3 years on the stock market. So, one of the bullishness I have from my side is that in looking at the global scenario, particularly the US big 5, 7, 10, they're all digital companies, except probably Berkshire Hathaway. So, what do you think? I mean, this kind of, apart from Zomato, you are working very closely with digital companies. You have seen them working. So, is it likely that in next 10-15 years, we are going to see many more digital companies in the top 10, 15, 20 kind of ranking in India?
So if you look at the top 5-10 global companies, which are, you mentioned, are the largest companies in US, likes of Google, Facebook, etc. They're, by the way, also, I think, fairly large in India. And their India business is likely to remain unlisted. So it's possible that, a large part of Indian digital tech market cap is never listed because of them being owned by these large players. Having said that, I do believe that we'll see a lot more new age companies coming from digitally tech-enabled sectors listing in the next few years. I think we saw one round of that happening in 2021 when 5-6 companies listed. And as the business models have become much stronger and economics have become better in the last few years, I do think there'll be a few more listings down the line, which will create more availability of tech digital businesses in the country which are listed.
Mm-hmm. One other thing about Zomato is that not only in food delivery, you guys are duopoly kind of situation, but you have Blinkit also, which is on top of it growing very rapidly. So, but then still combined as a company, you are not made profit. So, is it a story of it is a story full of hope that someday you will make money, because ultimately the stock market is about the next discounted value of future cash flows. So what is your view on, for how long one has to wait to see, within your own disclosed kind of numbers, can you guide us in terms of saying how exactly profit and profitability and profit numbers will start flowing in next 5-10 years also?
Yeah, so last, I think June quarter this year was the first quarter when at a company level we were profitable. We reported a small 2 crore profit after tax. And then September quarter that increased to about 40 odd crores, right? So company, I think as a group combined business is already profitable, and I think it's only going to increase from here as the business is mature. And you're right, I think Blinkit is a relatively still nascent business. We need investment in that business for it to continue to grow. The top line of that business is doubling year on year, right? So I think it will be in that phase where it will take a while for that business to generate meaningful profits. But I think food delivery is shaping up well, and as a result, the sum of those two should remain profitable, and therefore the company at a overall level should continue to remain profitable and grow from here.
But do you think Blinkit itself can be a lakh crore or 2 lakh crore kind of turnover company in next, in midterm kind of thing? The pace at which you are going?
Yes, it's already north of 10,000 crores in terms of GOV, top line annually.
Yeah,
and
yeah.
Really speaking, it is a 1.5-year-old business right now, right? So, and still growing at 80 to 100% year on year. So I think, it's a long runway, of course, from 10,000 to what you're saying, 1 lakh crore, but it's, I think, fairly probable that the business will continue to scale. And at some point, we think it's likely to become larger than food delivery. Food delivery today, if you look at the top line from a GOV standpoint, it's about 30,000 crores. And if Indian business continues to double year on year, and food delivery is also growing 25-30% year on year, but at some point the trajectory of the two businesses in terms of size will cross, I think, in the next 3, 4, 5 years, and from there on, I think both businesses have a long runway to go.
You know, one of the comment against your food delivery business is that it's a fundamentally very low margin business, 4-5%. Food business can have 20-30% take rate and things like that. But in grocery, it's highly competitive, and the likes of Avenue and all, they make just about 4-5% net margin. Now you deliver at home free of cost or maybe some charges. So how do you think of making money out of them?
So our ambition also in this business, our stated objective goal has been that this business should get to 4-5% margin, and that's the goal. Right now we are not there yet, but as the business scales, the gross margins will increase. We're also charging consumers here delivery fee, so that's a big driver of profit as well. And there is then this ad sales, the advertisement spends that brands do on the platform, which also adds to the bottom line. So I think there's some differences in the business models of a modern retail business versus a quick commerce business. But our view is that the margin profile should be very similar in the steady state.
I just had one follow-up on Blinkit actually, since we're having this discussion, and I think everyone is really interested in the quick commerce space and the opportunity that it brings up, right? You spoke about the potential for profitability, but I think earlier you had guided for a break-even, EBITDA break-even on Blinkit by Q1 of FY25. Are we on track to meet that timeline?
Yeah, so far we're on track, Sonia, on that. So that should happen if everything is predictable and remains, the market doesn't change.
So the reason I ask is because, I mean, you are a market leader in this space by a large amount. I think you're 1.2 times bigger than Instamart at the moment. But I just want to understand in terms of market leadership in the quick commerce space, what are we looking at? What is the kind of opportunity that you see for Blinkit over the next couple of years?
Yeah, so I think it's a fairly large market. I think we're not competing with any one player or a particular format. For consumers, they have multiple choices on how they transact or do commerce in the country. There are the local kiranas, there are modern retail, big box retail format stores. There are large e-commerce platforms, and then you also have quick commerce platforms, right? So from a consumer standpoint, I think all of this are, in a way, ways to transact and buy stuff in India. And that overall market is so large, I think that all of these individual formats can survive and become fairly large and profitable, right? So I think the focus right now, therefore, is more on like how can we solve problems or create more use cases for consumers to transact on our platform. And if you're able to do that well, I think the market is large enough for everyone to grow, right? So, and that's the opportunity which Mr. Raamdeo spoke about. I think, it's the offline retail market is in a $1 trillion or more in size, right? And even if we get 1% share of that, we'll build a $10 billion business.
CNBC-TV18